Well, welcome to On Air.
Oh, thanks for having me. This is amazing. It's a cool vibe.
Should I tell them what happened to us at the restaurant the other night?
Oh, at Koi, our favorite restaurant?
Well, it's a great sushi spot here in Southern California.
Amazing. But I saw you were out to dinner, I think with your girlfriend, and I was with a friend, and I sort of saw you from across the restaurant. But you looked like you were busy, and I didn't want to bother you, but we both sort of acknowledged each other, like, hey.
Yeah.
the Hollywood nod or something.
Is that what it is? Because I recognized you, and I thought to myself, well, I can't let her see me looking at her, and I can't go up to her, and if I did, what would I say?
That's kind of how I felt, too. So we both just did the, hey.
So now let's take it one step further. I think you're great.
I think you're amazing.
All right. Now, Mandy Moore, kind of the good child, the good kid, a cleaner image than some of the other pop stars out there.
I guess.
Is that a label that you are cool with, comfortable with, something that you wanted?
I think labels are just sort of funny things. They should
Yeah.
sort of... My friend Jenna, who's in the movie, always says labels should be left to jars, and I kind of agree with that. But, you know, if someone's going to sort of consider me to be a good person, I'd rather take that than something else. And I sort of feel like with me, it's what you see is what you get. Mm-hmm. I'm not one person sort of on camera and off, so I guess it is essentially who I am.
People have made a little bit of the differences between you and like a Britney or Christina, and even gone as far as saying that you guys feud and you don't speak. Is there any truth to that?
I'm not cool enough, like, to see them on a daily basis, you know what I mean? You meet people and you bump into them occasionally and you're acquaintances and friendly, but I have no problems with them. I mean, they're amazing and they're successful and they do what they do very well, but...
Would you give them the nod?
I would, but I don't even think they'd look in my direction like you did. I'd be ignored completely, but I would give them the nod.
Now, in addition to all the good that comes with fame, there are some difficult times as well, and I know that you just broke up with somebody that you've been seeing, Andy Roddick, the tennis player, and you guys were together for...
It's not that bad.
How long were you together?
Like a year and a half, a little longer than that.
So does it make it harder that everybody else knows what went down?
It's weird, because you're sort of, I mean, you're in the public eye, and so you have a relationship that's sort of scrutinized more than most people's are. It's just odd. It's odd that you can sort of say one thing, and it's completely taken out of context, and before you know it, it's like, Mandy Moore in love on the cover of a magazine. You're like, how did that happen? But I'm really happy, actually. I love being by myself, and life is good.
I mean, in every negative situation, there is a positive. You just have to find it.
Completely.
What do you think you learned from that relationship?
I don't know necessarily what I learned, and if I want to discuss it with all of America. Some things are better left unsaid, but I feel like I'm more of a woman now. You know, I'm 20 years old, and I'm a lot more comfortable and happy, like being by myself and being independent and spending time alone. I just spent 2.5 months in New York making a movie, living by myself, and I don't think I could have necessarily done that beforehand. So.
Well, when you do start dating again, do you think that you'll try and stay away from a celebrity?
Yes. I will stay away from, I just want to find a good guy anywhere, whatever his job may be, and I think that the biggest challenge is finding a good person who's honest and has integrity and has a sense of humor and is just normal and doesn't really care about any of this hubbub.
Is there a friend of mine called, who's a big fan, and said that they heard that you had possibly gone out with Adam Duritz from the Counting Crows. So is there any truth to that?
No. Adam's my friend, actually. We met. Well, I'm not saying that, oh, we're just friends. We're actually writing music together.
I know he's a fan of your music.
Yeah, I love him, and I'm a fan of his music, and he's a wonderful guy, but I think that's where people sort of got the idea, because we've been hanging out together writing music, but no relationship. He's quite a bit older than me, too.
Yeah, how old is he? He's in his mid-30s.
He's like almost 40, so which is great. 40 is an amazing age, but not
celebrate your 40th.
Happy birthday, but not to date.
Not yet for you.
No, thank you.
We're going to come back with Mandy Moore after this. Hang on, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Hollywood here on air live with Mandy Moore. Now, we're all familiar with your music, but acting, something you've been doing for a while as well.
Yeah.
And I saw Save, this movie, and I really enjoyed watching it.
Thank you very much.
An interesting role, interesting dynamic. Why was it that you wanted to do this film? Because I know that you have other opportunities.
You know what? Good scripts are really few and far between. So when this came along and the fact that Jenna Malone and Macaulay Culkin and all these amazing, really talented young actors were already involved with it, I couldn't pass that up.
But you sit there at some point and say, all right, because every decision is so important, and you want to make sure you're making the right choices. It's great to
Completely.
have choices, but then once you have them, you want to make the right ones. Was there a point where you said, gosh, it's hard to tell. I don't know if this is going to be the right thing to do or not, and just go for it? Or was it from the beginning, wholeheartedly, this is it?
For this movie?
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly, yes. It wasn't sort of a calculated move, because the character that I play is a little bit different from anything I've done in the past, and she's very different from who I am, very sort of overzealous and hypocritical, and it wasn't like a calculated move, like, I want people to see me in a different light.
Right.
It was just an amazing opportunity, and I was so glad that they sort of thought of me for this character, and I couldn't say no. I loved it. I was laughing. It's such a funny, funny script and a funny movie that, you know, I didn't know if I'd be involved with something like this ever again.
So the quick one-line setup for the premise is what?
It's a crazy film to explain. Jenna Malone's character plays Mary, who compromises her virginity to have to save her gay boyfriend and ends up getting pregnant. I play her best friend. I know it sounds crazy. I play her best friend in this Christian town, in this Christian high school, who sort of kicks her out of this group that we have and ostracizes her because she's a bad person now that she's questioning her faith. But it's actually a very sweet film, very pro-faith. The whole controversy sort of surrounding the movie, obviously, because it has the religious theme, but it's sort of not. It's a really, it's a cool film. So I encourage everyone, especially young people, to check it out.
Your character's very upbeat.
Yes. She's, you know, a crusader on the front lines for Jesus. That's what she kind of describes herself as. And I don't know, it's something that we're all really proud of, and so exciting that it's sort of getting this great word of mouth out there and that people are going to check it out, because it means so much to us.
Well, take a look. Here's a clip from the movie Saved.
Oh, well, maybe I'm tired of pushing you around. He's all yours. Oh, thanks. Call me later, okay? He doesn't appreciate what you do for him.
Yeah, you know, without the strength and love that Jesus provides me, do you really think Cassandra's going to be able to take care of him?
No way.
She's just going to end up hurting him.
By the look of the bruises on his neck, she already has.
Tia, please.
Watch out, Macaulay Culkin. Cheating on him.
Matt,
How was it working with Macaulay Culkin?
he's amazing. You know, everybody sort of, I think we all went in thinking like, you know, Matt could have fallen
Mac,
under...
is that what you called him on the set?
Yeah, that's what
Mac.
that's what everyone calls him. He could
Home Alone Mac.
He could have, you know, fallen under every child star cliche, but he's so normal and has an amazing sense of humor and is so sort of self-deprecating and a great guy, and he's so great in the movie.
Doesn't
too,
he
so.
look the same?
He looks exactly the same. He can't walk down the street without people going, "Hey,
Yeah.
hello," you know. Which has got to be sort of weird.
But I have to admit, you know, throughout the movie, I'm sitting there looking at his face, and it doesn't look like he's aged at all. And that was how many years ago, the Home Alone and Home Alone 2, of course, I have it on
12
VHS.
years ago. He's like 23 now, 24.
Yeah. Well, let's go. Let's do this. Do we have time for this right now? Okay. We're going to do Mandy Moore misconceptions. So there are a lot of things that are out of the tabloids, in the magazines, lots of fodder about good old Mandy Moore here. So I figured we'd clear the air right now.
Okay.
True or false? Is it true, Mandy, that you have enormous feet?
I do, and now everyone goes down to the feet. I wear size 10 shoes, but I'm 5'10", so I guess it's in proportion, but I always feel like, oh God, can you get off the shelf of the feet? For God's sake. I've always been self-conscious about them.
No, they match. I think they look, we approve, they look fine.
Thanks.
Is it true you sang Madonna songs in karaoke as a kid?
I did, Madonna and Bette Midler. And while we were making the movie, we were such a huge karaokeing bunch. I have been known to karaoke some Britney Spears in my day.
A little Hit Me Baby one more time?
A little, Oops, I Did It Again.
Oh, of course you did.
You know, I've done a little Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah.
You know, all the classics.
I've been
Karaoke
most
classics.
recently doing Every Time, which is the slow ballad from Britney, and
Wow.
that's fun when you dim the lights. True,
Wealthy.
you had a nose job?
No, Awful Plastics are some website.
Nope, you're right.
Right?
It's,
Says
that's
that I
real.
had a nose job, and they have like pictures of before and after, and literally it's like the picture from before was actually the picture after the after, so it doesn't make sense. But no, I haven't had a nose job.
Oops, I did it again. All right. True that you started a food fight.
I did not start a food fight while we were making the movie. We, I don't know, reverted back to 4th grade and decided that it would be fun. We were all staying in the same hotel that we would throw jumbo marshmallows and dumplings off the balcony at people. And it was amazing, actually. We purposely went
This
to
is
the
why you
grocery
can't
store.
call it a 40-year-old.
I'm still a kid, but we went out and bought 5 bags of jumbo marshmallows to purposely throw off the balcony. It was amazing.
You're very sweet.
Sorry, Vancouver. Where we shot the movie.
This can't be true, that Jack Osborne got you a tattoo?
I went with Jack Osborne to get a tattoo.
You did? This is true?
This is true.
Well, how do you end up at a tattoo parlor? Well, I guess that's an
I
obvious
have a
question. But
tattoo on my toe. I'm covering up my disgusting feet. It's so little and baby and tight. See, it's little. People think that I've actually drawn. Oh my gosh, I'm touching my feet.
Oh, sorry. Was this something I should be worried about?
No, but I feel like feet are disgusting and dirty. I feel like you should go wash your hands.
All right.
But I went with Jack Osborne because he's a lovely, lovely guy. Ryan, I'm so embarrassed.
Sounds like a white lotus. Very nice.
Well, I did lotion my feet before I came out on the show.
All right,
But,
well, thank you for
a
moisturizing.
baby, is that a baby wipe?
Yeah, thanks. That's a baby wipe.
Yes. I mean, feet are disgusting, okay?
Don't get aggressive with me, man. I'm trying to host a television show. I'm actually...
Can I stay here all day?
Yeah, you can hang out.
Amazing. I
Mandy
love
Moore,
it.
everybody. Saved in theaters now. Feel free. Hang out. Up next, how you can dine at the same table as Bill Clinton, Celine Dion, or Sly Stallone, and Andy Richter and the cast of Quintuplets on the way. Your foot is fine.